What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin with the Sci-Fi haul video I've been promising you guys. Most of these are books, sci-fi, fantasy, sci-fi or fantasy. Oh my god, this stupid camera stand. And I also have some Blu-Rays and DVDs. We'll go through the sci-fi books first. Yeah. Which this isn't a sci-fi book, but this is Janet Morse Thieves World Beyond Sanctuary. I got this at a Value Village that was supposed to be way better than my Value Village, my local Value Village, only for their fantasy and sci-fi section to be super short. Super small. Like, holy crap, man. It was like wedged between like the horror and the nonfiction, man. And it was like super small space, dude. It was like as small as the manga sections used to be at bookstores. Oh, there was a time when the manga sections used to be like, like basically the space behind it, like this desk, right? That was basically the size of the fantasy and sci-fi section at this Valley Village, man. It was insane. But yeah, there was some cool books there. This was one of them. This is not, I think this is like a Thieves World spin-off book. Which Thieves World, I've already explained what Thieves World what it was, but it's basically a shared, basically it was like a bunch of authors came together, like, let's create this fantasy world where we write like fan fiction of our favorite, like, fantasy creations, right? Oh my god. So the next book is Charles Stross, Saturn's Children, a space opera. I was really into space opera at the time, and holy crap, man. I did some research on this book after I bought it, and go on Goodreads and search this book, and it was a way crappier cover. And this guy, obviously, I could tell by the descriptions at the back that this guy was probably an anime fan. But holy crap, the dude must be like kind of like a troll or something, because he has a book, a sci-fi book called Rule 34 about a sexy like spy in the future or whatever. And apparently from people said online that this book is basically like a parody of a Robert Heinlein novel, Friday. So yeah, that sounded interesting, which I bought this not even knowing all that, but I bought it because based off the description, which sounded very anime-esque. Alright, next book is, okay. Isaac Asimov's Prelude to Foundation. This is the prequel to Foundation, his Foundation trilogy. And yeah, there is a TV show. Apparently people have like the Foundation series as some of the best space opera books ever. So I was into space opera at the time. I was reading that Revelation Space novel, which I'm still undecided on whether or not we'll pick up the sequels, because it doesn't even sound like the main character from the first book is even in it. But yeah, I don't know. I might pick it up. I don't know. I'm gonna read this at some point, but I'm not sure if I should read this first or read the Foundation books first, because yeah, this is a prequel, but it's also more. People say it's more of an action adventure, which the Foundation books weren't. They were more like philosophical sci-fi, but I don't know. Next book. Andre Norton's Search for the Starstones. This actually contains two books that were originally published in like the 50s or 60s or whatever. And yeah, they sounded interesting, so I picked it up. Next books, I bought these like the last week. The Archive on Dime by Emma Mako Candon. This sounds really interesting, but yeah, the book is like less than 500 pages, and I paid $40 for this. So I think it's maybe because it was a hardcover. I don't know. The reviews for this book was interesting. I picked it up at that SJW bookstore from town. And yeah, it sounds very interesting, but I looked at some of the other books she worked on. It does. Oh my god, dude. I'm not. She's. It sounds like she's basically like a writer for hire, right? So I kind of don't have a lot of confidence from people like that, but writers like that. But maybe it's good. I was getting like apparently I was from the descriptions. It sounded like it was like five-star stories with body horror. So that sounded interesting. So yeah, and the reviews on YouTube, I saw some videos and they didn't break into the 200s, man. So I don't know how a book can get like almost 5 stars, and then there's hardly any talk on BookTube or whatever. But whatever, we'll review it. Last book I bought this last week is The Avengers. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Dan Abnett. They had these at Canadian Tire. They had 3 of these Marvel novels. One was a Deadpool one was an Ant-Man one. And Dan Abnett, obviously, I recognize his name. I've read comics and novels by Dan Abnett, so I'm like, the other 2 people I've never heard of them before. So I'm like, okay, out of the 3 books, this one was probably going to be the best one. So I picked it up. And there's not a lot of this is a novel, by the way, so there's no art, interior art. And this guy's mostly famous for writing Warhammer 40K novels, and he wrote the Warhammer 40K movie that Warhammer 40K fans hate. Which the writing for that movie was the least of that movie's fucking problems, man. Holy fuck, did it look like way older than it should have been. Okay, now we're gonna get into the Blu-rays and DVDs I picked up, because I picked most of the stuff up weeks ago, I actually had time to watch this. So I can give you short reviews for it. So I picked up this DVD, The Black Hole, which was a pretty cool movie. It's a Disney sci-fi movie that was accused of being a Star Wars ripoff by 2 famous authors 2 famous critics you probably heard of, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. But if you watch the movie, it's more Star Trek than Star Wars. And it's a pretty good movie, but holy fuck, the ending was super weird. Oh, it was still a good movie. And you get a young Robert Forster. And the guy from Psycho is in the movie. Anthony Perkins. I watched season 3 of The Expanse. I got back into Sci-Fi, and I only ever watched the first season of Expanse and episode 1 of season 2. Want to watch The Expanse, but all I could find is season 3. And I already had season 1 and 2 on DVD and Blu-ray, but I can't find any of the seasons anywhere except for this one. So I was like, God damn it. And it's not one of those shows where you want to watch it online, because the Belters, holy crap, man. The Belters, you can hardly understand what the hell they're saying because of their accents. Their fake South African accents. I also picked up season 1 of Defiance, but I made the mistake of buying this used, and it doesn't work. So I couldn't watch it. Though I'm gonna keep it anyway, because I'll buy, hopefully, because the other discs look fine. It was just that one that was fucked. The disc one that was fucked. Next is Mamoru Oshii film, The Sky Crawlers. I bought this for, what did I pay for this? $4, and it was pretty good, but it's super weird, like most of Oshii's films. Yeah, and it's very much like, if you ever seen Garm's, what was called, Garm War, The Last Druid, it's pretty much an anime version of that, but in more of a regular Earth, not like a super futuristic Earth, where it's basically genetically engineered clones or teenagers fight mock battles, but you know they really die, and the some of the action scenes are super intense. Literally, you see one of the pilots eject from his fighter, only to get gunned down in his ejector pod. So it's like, what was the point of that? And it's super weird movie. And the final line of the main character, in the movie, like very much reminded me of like Jim Morrison from The Doors, where he's like the end of the movie. He's like. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, father, and then like spoiler alert, he dies. You don't even see who did it, and there's like this rogue. There's this like enemy ace, who's not a part of any group, is not one of the genetically engineered teenagers. He's like old. Well, they don't say who he is other than he's not a Kildren. Which is, get it? Kildren? Oh, but if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But like, holy shit. There's one character where they kind of hint at who it is. And I'm pretty sure it was that old man who's always hanging outside the diner. But it's like, it's a decent movie, but it's weird. Okay, I also picked up For All Mankind Season 1, which is an alternative sci-fi TV series. I was worried it was going to be a soap opera, but there is some drama stuff in this show. I really like some of the music, though. When they started playing, because most of this show takes place in like the 60s and early 70s. When they started playing 80s music at the end, I was like, what the fuck? But it was a pretty good show. But yeah, it does have a lot of the problems that most modern shows have. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was a good show. I pretty much binge watched it all. So yeah, that's it for this haul video, guys. Peace out.